welcome back to my YouTube channel. I shall live Neema, and if it is your first time to come across this channel, kindly subscribe to my channel. To my returning subscribers, God bless you so much for always coming and watching each and every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for the new family, because I know by now I have new subscribers from the previous video. God bless you so much for choosing this family. And there's those who just shared my video and just shared my channel and my videos, and God bless you so much, because people came through that video, and I thank God. Welcome to this family. In this family, we just say it is just positive vibes, telling my life as a testimony. I don't brag about it, but I just give it as a testimony, because I believe, you know, there is a verse in the Bible that says, it is Apostle Paul that says, if I have to give my own testimony, it would be like I'm bragging, but there is God in heaven who knows that it is a truth, or it is a testimony of encouraging people. I thank God because of you. Thank you for choosing this channel. Thank you for choosing me. And kindly just like the videos, and if you are just watching, press that like button and like the videos, because people forget to like the videos, and by doing so you'll be promoting this video just to be shared by YouTube. And thank you so much. We give inspiring stories. I'll be doing cooking videos. It is everything that evolves in my life, and mostly, and what I dwell main into is just my life, my testimony. And in today's video, it is a random video. I've just decided to sit down as I was just relaxing and just give you just hope and tell you that there is power in forgiving. There is power in forgiveness. And you know, forgiveness is just, I think, the hardest thing. I think the hardest thing, to do. It is the hardest thing to do. More so to a person who have done something that you can just something big to your life, or a mess to your life. And I remember I was just watching a video of a lady who was just telling how the son was just an accident that killed the son. And I remember, or I've just been overpowered by, or just encouraged by the words that she said, that, you know, I just forgave that man, because I knew, even if I'm quoting the lady's words, because this lady says, even if I take that man to jail, that man will not suffer, but the mother will suffer. And this reminded me of a story. Again, my life, my testimony. I remember one day, May 2018, I was coming from a fellowship somewhere, and I was tired because I was in prayers and fastings. And after the service, after we finished the service, I decided to take a motorbike, because there was a customer that was waiting me. And I boarded a motorbike. I took a border guy, and we just went. Upon reaching the place that I was working, I remember I told that man, niweke pale, you know, just drop me there. And we were just the other side of the main road, and now my business was this other side. And then now this man decided just to cross the road, to cross, so that he can just make me just a light from there, just there at the place where I work. And we just crossed the road very well. And you know, some things, you know, I don't want to say about, but it was just something that happened. I don't know how it happened. And so I decided, you know, I was just, it is here. Then I just hold on to this man's shoulders, you know, the way you just prepare yourself to get out of the motorbike, or to alight the motorbike. And You know, I had a lady that I had employed, and I just gave the things that I had, and now I was preparing to get out of the motorbike, and I hold onto this man's shoulder. And imagine, from nowhere, I had another motorbike just knocking us from behind, and it was like, you know, the impact was like, you know, we just it was now this man was like lost balance and now bended this way. And now remember, I was preparing just to stand and alight. Now it was like this way, then I just fall down. And I remember I was just putting my legs, you know, my legs, it was on a highway, and now my leg was just you know, I don't know how to explain, but I remember again this man, I don't know what was happening, because and again this man that hit us from behind came again and just went through this one leg, my right leg, yeah, and it was just at the knee joint. It was like he went over. And I thank God, because if it was just the head, I could not be alive today, because I just fall on the main road, and then one leg was just apart, and he came and just went with again with the, remember, the motorbike, this man was just trying to run and he didn't care, so he came and just crushed my leg. And now I was there in pain. And one thing that I didn't, you know, one thing that really shocks me is that even today people didn't see that, because people are concentrating on, yeah, kumendaje, because it was just somewhere in the stage and people know me, didn't know what was happening. But the lady that I had employed knew what, saw this man just coming and crushing my leg. Now I was taken to a nearby for emergency. And again, this man that who had carried me was told, when, you know, he was just told, you know, you didn't have the indicator, you are the one on the wrong side, you know, I don't know what. And you know, he was told, just take this lady again. You know, I was just picked and put in there on the motorbike again, taken to the nearby clinic. And and that is why I do laugh and say, even a car will kill you, and another car will come and take you to the mortuary. And reaching the clinic, you know, it was a highway and there had been a lot of accidents, so there is a way that they do. And you know, I was escorted by a group of people because they know me, and it was like, hey, you know, you are on the wrong side, you didn't just put the indicator, you know what. And you know, when we arrived there, the soldier there, the gate man, the watchman there asked, you know, I remember him asking, what is happening. And it is like, you know, she had an accident, who had carried her, it is this man. And you know, I remember seeing that soldier or that watchman taking the key from that man, and then the rest, I was given a wheelchair and I was taken, and I was in pain, and that pain just made me unconscious. And I remember when I woke up from that unconsciousness, or I gained consciousness, I saw, I because they had attended unto me, there was injections and what have you. And you know, I was told that, you know, mama, you had to pay this and this, so because we want to do an x-ray, and we want your go ahead, because we've just retained that man. Now the motorbike guy, we've retained that man there, and do we tell him to pay the bill? And it was like, you know, in my head, I asked myself, you know, I asked that man, where is the Buddha guy? And remember, I have a crowd of, yeah, the wonderful ladies that and men who just were there with me. And you know, it was like, where is that man? Where is he? And they told me, you know, in this institution or in this clinic, if you bring a person, yeah, involved in an accident, we have to retain you, because some will cause accident and then run away, and they leave other to suffer. So we've just detained that man for you to gain the consciousness, so that you can give us the go ahead. Can we give him the bill? And I remember the bill was like, it was x-ray from the, yeah, I was needed to pay an x-ray of 2,000, I don't know what, and some injections because of the pain. And the consultation. It was like amounting to 2,700, and that I was in my mind, you know, I even today I don't know that man who did that, because I just picked a random guy, and I don't know that man even today. So but I remember he was just but somebody, you know, a family man who is just who is trying to make ends meet, and he was like, let's me say in Kiswahili, alikuwa amefinyika sana, you know. And you know, it was like I asked that man, why is that motorbike guy? And it was like, I've detained him, he has to, you know. And it was like, release him. And you know, the other friends of mine were like, what are you saying? You know, they thought I was crazy because of pain, but release him. And I took, because at that time we were paying 50 shillings, and I took a I asked for 50 shillings from the person who was having my bag, and it was, bring the 50 shillings, go and give that man that 50 shillings. And it was like, are you crazy? No, I told, give him that 50 shillings, let him go. And you know, they started challenging me. And there is one thing that I asked them. You know, I asked them this. I don't think there is someone or a person can wake up in the morning and just say, today I want to cause an accident. Today I want to just sleep in jail. Today I want just to be detained somewhere and pay a fine, or just pay somebody's hospital bill. I don't think there is somebody who can just wake up in the morning and pray and wish a day like that. And it was like, just give to that man, mwambie akatafutie watoto. God is with me. And you know, they were like, what is wrong with you? And I told them, you know what? I have had a great pain. I don't think that detaining that man, or just that man paying the bill, will just ease the pain. Let him go. And I don't know if he can afford. And it was like, you know, I later understand that they said, you know, she because she has money. And for me, I wanted forgiveness. And let me tell you guys, it was not easy, because for that time, you know, those doctors said that I am okay, there is no fracture. And I was told, just given some drugs and what have you. And I used money, of which people wanted that money to pay, but I knew he didn't have that money. Yeah, deep within me, I knew that this man is just a hustler. Let me use that word, you know. At first, because I can't remember him, but when I boarded him, you know, I boarded him out of just pity, because I saw us that day. So it was not easy. I had to pay the bill, and then I thank God, because I had the money. I paid the bill, and then I went to the house, and it was like, you know, I'm in the house, and yeah, this is getting serious. And I remember my partner calling me and asking me, what about the person who caused the accident? And I told him, you know, I just forgave him. Even I gave the 50 shillings. Yeah, I forgave him, and I'm letting God. Yeah, I'm letting God. And you know, he was like, are you serious? I said, yeah, I value forgiveness. And I remember after it was like 1 week, the cases were sending. Yeah. And if you've gotten a bone and a bone fracture, I know you know what I'm talking about. That thing is painful. And it was like one day, now this is too much, and take me to a higher referral. And we decided to go to the National Hospital. And let me tell you guys, I'm doing this video, I've decided to do this random video just to tell you that forgiveness will open doors for you. Because I remember when we went there, I was just, you know, there are people who fear referral hospitals, but me, I got the best treatment. God was there for me, because I let God. I gave and I let God. So I went there, and it was like, you know, we have to repeat everything, and we have to do everything. And luckily I got a very good doctor in the x-ray room. I don't know if that is what we call them. And that man just looked at me and told me, ma'am, you know, they are saying that you don't have a fracture, and the other x-ray from the previous clinic says that you don't have a fracture, but at the look of things, this thing is just worse. And you know, that guy came and looked at me and told me, Mom, I want to help you. Can you just do this and this and this? It is painful, but it is for your better. And we did it, and true, it you had, yeah, it is, if as insert that fracture here, it is called tibia plateau. And again, the knee, the kneecap had just been destroyed. I don't know to say destroyed, but it has just been disconnected. And I remember, God is faithful. And now, you know, it was like, you know, you are not going home. We have to admit you, and because we have to operate you and have to put just another rod and just to bolts and what have you. Have to put screws to screw the fracture, and then the kneecap, I don't know, we have to replace them. It is called knee replacement. And so we have to admit you. And remember, I had a very good lady, a neighbor and a friend, who just took the task from the day one. And we had gone with her. You know, God made, she took the burden from day one. And remember, I was going to National Hospital for 1 year and 2 months, but that lady just closed the files with me. Yeah. And you know, we just, you know, I was told, and you know, this lady was just, but what is happening? And you know, my partner was like, what is happening? You know, he was not working in Nairobi. My children are in boarding schools, and I remember my son was in Form 4 and my daughter was in grade 8 or standard 8 by that time. And you know, they were candidates, and it is like, what is happening? And you know, one question that my partner asked is that, if I leave you in these words, who will be coming to see you? And you know, he was just disturbed, and I told him, you know what, let the will of God be done. And you know, he was like confused, and I told him, do this, just go to the whole, you know, the National Hospital, the Kenyatta National Hospital. I told him, you know, go to all the wards and just look at those who are in those beds. I bet they are not animals, they are human beings. And because I'm also human, yeah, these are the same temptations. Just leave me there. God will just take care of me. And it was like, no. And I remember, okay, I just want to show you how God started coming into, yeah, the forgiveness now paid. And I remember I went through every tests, and I was just, you know, they do every test, and then they started looking for the veins just to insert that injection. So they had to insert it here, and I'll insert that photo here. And it was like, you know, yeah, it was like, go and open file for this lady. She's going to the ward. And for me, I was not, you know, God gave me another courage, and I was positive about everything. And I told God, I reminded God, you know, God, remember that man we were with, and remember I forgave and I let that man go. So I let you just take cover. If it is your will, let it be done. And you know, we did everything, and there was just a cast was just put in my, again, when I went to be just plastered, or the cast, when the doctor went to put the casts on, I met a student. Yeah, you know, I met a student. You know, many of you may relate that you may go to a hospital and meet a student. And you know, this guy started just putting the cast, and when he was halfway, no, I want you to see God. When he was just halfway, another lady came. Now the main, I think this man was under the lady's instruction, so he was operating under, I think it was internship, or I don't know. And it was like, what are you doing? And this man said, you know, I'm just trying to put the cast, you know, it is written I put a cast. And it was like, no, do you want this lady to lose the leg? And it was like, you know, if you put that cast like that and this leg is swollen, it will cause the leg to be amputated. And I saw God, and it was like remove everything, just start afresh, and it was like I was just it was done the way it was to be done. Again, now let's go back, and we opened the file. Then my partners now started opening the files, and it is like it is signed, and now we are taking back to the he was taking back to the lady who had just inspected my plastering. And now this lady started speaking. Let me tell you, the ways of God are not the ways of men, because the Bible says that acknowledge your ways unto the Lord, and it shall be established. Because he just went and found the lady, and it was like the form, yeah, the admission form, it is written very well, admission form. And now this this lady starts telling my partner, when you go home, just do this and this and this, and make sure every Thursday you come for orthopedic clinic. And my partner, and now my neighbor lady who was helping me, was like, is she going home? And we've just been told that she's going to be admitted. And it is like, that lady looked at my partner, and it was like, even if she just stays here, it is just painkillers and sleeping pills, and the doctors will just come and check them once a week, and what is the need? And it was like, and this is the admission form, and the lady was just, but sorry, she was like, what have I said? And now now my partner and the lady friend now started begging with the lady, madam, so there is a possibility that a person is not, that there is a possibility that there is no need of just being admitted. And that lady was like, because you have the admission form, just go on, but I don't see the need. And it was like, help us, kindly help us. And my partner told that lady, I'm not around, and she's just all alone in the house, and this is just a friend of which we've just committed her today, we don't know about tomorrow. And this lady told my partner, I'm going to help you, just go back to the doctor who had just admitted you, and just tell him what you are telling me. And when my partner went back to this man, he found that now the doctor has just the shift is over, and it was just searching for him with the help of this, for the gentleman, and then the doctor, the looking for the doctor, and then the doctor came. And now when the doctor came, it was like, man, yeah, it is impossible, because the insurance have just paid everything. But if you reverse this thing, you have to sign a letter and say that you've just you have to sign a letter that you'll have to pay cash. Again, the insurance have just deducted whatever have been used, and we are afraid that you are going to sue the facility that you've just. And it was like, you have to sign. Will you agree to sign? And it was like, yeah, I will sign. And he was taken to an office, and it was signed first, then pay cash. Then it was like, and I'll just insert a photo here. I was just somewhere in a stretcher, and just covered, and with my injections here, the tubes here, and I had even a label that I'm supposed to go to the ward, and I'm in a waiting area. They are somewhere they put you, and they just wait for the time for you to be taken to the wards, because it was during the visiting hours. When they finish everything, they prepare a bed so that you are taken. And imagine now, after that, and this lady friend of mine came. First of all, this lady was not a friend, she was just a neighbor, but from that time she became a friend, because of the favor of God and the power of forgiveness. It connects you with unthinkable. And now this lady comes and tells me, you know what, we are taking you home. And it was like, what is happening? God has made way. And it is like, okay. And I was just again taken with my stretcher, and now these doctors started now removing the injection, and you know, it is like you are going home. And now this lady, the plastering lady, came, and you know, he was following us and telling us, you know, hey, because I'm the person who have just made this thing happen, and I regret because I didn't know how I didn't see the form. Kindly, if you go home, just make sure that you know you just place that leg is lifted. Yeah, that leg is lifted, so it is like blankets and pillows and cushions. I'll insert a photo here of how I was just sleeping, and it was like, and if you just hear anything like dampness on your toes, just rush back, and no emergency, just come back to the number that he gave us, the door number that she gave us, and it was, we went home. And it was, you know, my partner, and I was calling people and telling them, you know, I've been admitted and what have, it was like, you know, I'm coming home, and people were asking what is happening, and I told them it is the hand of God, and deep inside me I knew it is the power of forgiveness. Then I went home, and it was like, you know, it was on a Saturday. Now my partner was just leaving Monday very early in the morning, 5, so that he could go. He was going for just 2 weeks, and it was like, you know, I'm going. And we were Sunday, and he just did everything, the shopping and what have you. And you know, now I'm just told, don't get out of bed. And one thing I did when I went home, I just told him, you know, I just want you to just, at that time I didn't have the clutches, we had not bought the clutches, so I was just to jump, you know, I was jumping, and it was the leg, you know, and the cast was because the height of the it was just up to the hip joint, and it was very heavy. And I told him, just let me jump, if I make it to go to the toilet and back to the bed, it is well, I don't care about anything. And I thank God, because in the apartment that I was living, the my bedroom was just right opposite, and it was very close to the toilet, so because it was not a master suite. And I made it, and I told him, cool, now it is good. And you know, in the at night, you know, my partner was like, you know, by that time he had a trip, a trip somewhere, and it was just but funded, and it was like, if I lose this, I'm going to lose this money. So yeah, and I told him, just go, because we need finance right now. And you know, now he went, and God opened doors again, the power of forgiveness. And now in the morning when he was leaving, it was like he has his bag, and he's holding the keys, and it is like, you know, I'm leaving. Whom am I leaving you with? And you know, I told him, just let God be. You know, I just have God. And you know, the lady I told you know what? God placed a burden on that lady, and she was like, before she goes to work, she comes in the morning, she just prepares breakfast and what have you, make sure that I have taken the medicine, and they make sure that the leg is just the height that they were told. And it was like, you know, and I remember the first, it was Monday, I was all alone, because this lady came and left food for me the next day. And now that day, I remember very well, we had a meeting somewhere, a cousins meeting, and from the in-law side, and I was to present my partner. So it was like, you know, are you coming? And you know, I was hiding this thing from these people, and you know, I told them I can't, because I had an accident. And I remember it was like, what? And I just forwarded a photo I had taken in the facility, and it was like, you know what, just let me, because this chicken, I think they are hatching, and they are making noise, I'm coming back. The cousins sent their wives. I don't know what to put it, you know, that, but the gents there sent the ladies, go and check on her and see how it is. And I remember they came straight, and it was like, I wasn't getting out of, I was just lying on the couch, and It was like, are you alone? And I remember the time they came, I was all alone. And you remember the lady friend who was working, had a business, and you know, they came and who are you with? And I told them I am here with God. And you know, this lady friend of mine was just cooking and placing everything on the table. And I think I'll insert a photo somewhere. You'll see what was happening, because I give my life testimony, yeah, not somebody's life. And you know, was placing the food there. And for me, I'm that kind of a person. Even if you give me cold food, I'm just okay. I'm just okay. Now they came and they found there was a thermos of tea, or the flask with tea with uji, and then food in a plastic container, spoons and water, and my everything that I needed was there. And it was like, plus again, it was everything. She could just set everything for me and go. Then we'll come in the evening and wash the, you know, you see God. And it was like, are you alone? And it was, yeah, I'm here with God. He's there with me. You may see me alone, but I'm here with God. And it was like, you know, they started now, they just distributed duties amongst themselves. And it is like, you'll be coming on Monday, you'll be coming on Tuesday, your work is this, your work is this, your work is this. And you know, it was like, you know, I had just, you know, every day was covered. And remember, I have the other lady friend now. She became a friend, of which I love her even today, because she did something that even my blood relative did not do. And she was so dedicated, and she took it to herself. Now again, I remember, you know, we came because I was indoors for 1 year 2 months. It was that long. And you know, people will come and you know, it was like I knew so and so will come and wash clothes, so and so will come and wash the house, so and so will come and cook this for me. And you know, they are you know, this one will come and cook this one will come and cook this. And it was like, hey, and I was, you know, I was like chubby, because I was just sitting and eating. And let me tell you something, God even opened doors for the finance, because you know, they could come and it is like shopping. It is like, you know, they give you cash. And I remember again, I want you to see God and the power of forgiveness, because one of my cousins, because he had a business in the CBD, he took it to himself that he is the one to take the task of taking me to the clinics. And I remember the first month we were going twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday. Yeah, Tuesday and Thursday. And he could come and pick me, take me, then take me back on Tuesday and on Thursday. Again, see the favor of God. Imagine, I was not able, because I was living in a apartment, second floor, and the stairs there were sharp, so I needed men to carry me. And you know, I'm huge. And we could come from the clinic, and then upon parking at the gate, you could see just ladies and men just telling you, you know, I was like a luggage. They could pick me as a luggage. And you know, it was like, hold him, hold, yeah, today we are holding you, today we are carrying this lady to the house. And I saw God's intervention, because of the power of forgiveness. And again, you know, God provided. And you know, I want to say that season, I think we didn't use our own cash, because people could provide material things, financial things, yeah, physical appearing, and spiritual. Even people prayed for me. And people flocked. You know, we were having like what do I say, we were having like, you know, I could have a good time, you know. At 8, I could know that there is somebody who is coming, and they could just come, my friends, my cousins, my, you know, they could come, and we could have a good day, just stories. And it made my healing journey easier and the process so easier. I forgot the pain because we could be just be there during the day, just talking and having stories, and then when they go, I just take my pills and sleep. Again, the next morning, someone is just knocking the window, because I had a window that was just next to the main door, so I could just open the window and just give them the key, and then they open. Again, the power of forgiveness. And when I heard the story of that mama or that lady, it was like, okay, yeah, there is power in forgiveness, and it open doors. Maybe for me, it opened the door. Yeah, there is power in forgiveness, and it opened a lot of unlocked doors. It paves ways where it seems there is no ways. Let forgiveness take over. You let God take over. And at times some people wrong us, and they do things that we feel that you can't forgive. Because as for me, I could have just said, yeah, this man just didn't indicate he did it wrong. It is his fault. So let him take the cross. Let him carry the cross. Yeah, let him pay me. Let him pay the bills. But I just looked at that man. I just placed this man in the shoes of either my partner or my son, my brother, and I just asked, what if it was my brother? What if it was my son? He's just gotten into this just motorbike, and just wakes up one day morning and just causes an accident, and then I'm told that he's supposed to pay like that amount of money and just be locked somewhere because of just ignorance of I don't know what. And I just took it to myself, and because the Bible says that we should be our brother's keepers, and because of that forgiveness, again, I was to forget. During the x-ray, let me take you back. During the x-ray, this man said, the report said that, one, you'll have to have an operation so that we can fix the bolts, and because it had, yeah, the cracks were just, but I wish I can have the the x-rays here and just show you. But the cracks were just severe. They were just bad, and it was just to be operated. And I suffer from varicose veins, and those people who know about varicose veins, if you just have a cut, that thing will bleed until, yeah, you'll bleed until death. What the doctor told me. And now I was just imagining, I have a lot of those veins, and then again, operation, what will happen? Will they mess up with my veins? What will happen? Because according to the doctors what they told me, it scared me, and it was like, what will happen? And now I was told to go home, and when that, now, because it was that swollen, if it just gets back to normal, it is the time you'll go to theater, and then again to the ward. You see, that time I had just escaped, and God had made way for me not to go to the ward, but I had to go back to the ward because of the operation, or to the admission because of the operation. But you know what? God came again. The power of forgiveness. God came. Why? Because I remember I had gone for the first clinic, no, the first orthopedic clinic, because I told it was on Tuesday, on Thursday, but the Tuesday was not that serious, but the Thursday ones you could go and get, yeah, the main doctors. And I remember the first week, the second week, the third week, and the operation is very expensive, because the doctor had given us the total amount of 400k 400k Kenyan 400,000 Kenya shillings, and it was like, God, what is happening? And remember, if you go back to the videos that I showed you about my house too, and kindly, if you've not watched that, just go back. We had just gotten this piece of land where I am today on that year, on that January, now this is April, the same year, and you know, we don't have money. We don't have money. And I'm told that, you know, you have to pay, if you have to go for the operation, you have to pay the 400 Kenyan shillings. 400,000 Kenyan shillings. Yeah, 400,000 Kenyan shillings. And it was like, God will provide. I don't care where, but you know, we had an insurance, but you know, there are some things that go way overboard for the insurance. And you know, it was like and we went for the x-ray for the orthopedic clinic. You have to go for the x-ray first so that it can show how you are just going on. And I went to that. I went to that. I went to the x-ray, and I was going back to the doctor. But we had prayed, we had fasted, we had prayed, and we were asking God, I don't want an operation. Again, I remembered, I reminded God, you know, remember I pardoned that guy and I let him go. And remember, God, I even paid him in the midst of my pain and suffering. So make your way and have your way. I don't want to go to the operation room. I don't want to go to theater, because I know the condition of my legs and I know what I suffer from, and I don't want that. And you know, I took the x-ray. Now, you know, everybody, and I remember that time, my partner, you know, in the national hospital, the KNH or Kenyatta National Hospital, when you go for the orthopedic clinic, you have to go for the blood pressure, blood sugar test, and what have you. And they just request other, even if it is your guardian, the person who has taken you there, just can you do it. And I remember my partner was tensed, because that was the one, we were drawing the line, because that one was to draw the line whether I'm going for the operation. And you know, they were just tense. And you know, my partner went for the blood pressure test, and it was like, mzee, are you on pills? And it was no. Umetoka kwa ward? It was like, no. Have you gotten from our ward? But do you know you are sick? And it was not. I'm not sick, but I'm tensed. Yeah, the news ahead are just they are just but the ones who are making me just tense. And we went to the doctor. I remember we were there in that room. Now me, my partner, and now the friend lady who I told you that has been there for me from day one to the last clinic, after 1 year 2 months clinic, closing the file. And it is like, you know, they were there. And I sat down, and the next, you know, I was like this, and the doctor is there. I was in a wheelchair, and the doctor was there, and it was like, he just, how are you? Where are you going? And you know, madam, I see still the leg is swollen, and you know, I had to go from the one cast. Then after the leg just comes back to the normal size because it was swollen. Then I get to the second cast, which would repair the bones. Just the first one was just to align the leg, because the leg, because it had just turned like this. And it was like, you know, I see your leg is just swollen. And it was like, you know, my partner was behind the doctor, and now this lady was like, you know, they were just, we were tense. Yeah, as far as you are praying, and you are a strong believer, and you have faith, and you are a strong believer, there is something that just whispers you, and it just brings doubts. And I thank God, because God is faithful. And it was now this doctor was just telling, you know, he was just telling, you know, let me see now. And it was like, you know, this doctor, I'm quoting what this doctor said, na kweli wewe mama ni muombaji. You know, we started like, you know, oh, you got tibia plateau, and you know, the kneecap is just displaced. Yes, you know, this is now a case of just, when are you scheduled for your operation? And I told, you know, I told the doctor, you know, doctor, I believe in God who just does operation in his ways, and he doesn't need scissors, he doesn't need knives, he doesn't need those he doesn't need just to cut through so that he may repair anything. But you know, I remember that doctor was a Kisii doctor, because he just looked at me, and you know, I just, you know, my God, the God that I serve, God in heaven that I serve, doesn't require scissors, he doesn't require knives, he doesn't require just to cut through so that he can repair the bones. But I serve a true living God who just spoke to, who just gave power to Ezekiel just to speak to the dry bones. And I told the doctor, you know, doctor, my bones are not dry, I think the veins are just still working, I have still flesh, and the bones have still have the flesh on, and I think they are not dry, but I know the God that I serve must have a way in repairing the bones. And the doctor was like, you know, I love that, you know, the favor of God, again, the power of forgiveness, because the doctor took time to listen to me. And it was like, okay, you know, he had not removed that he had not removed the now the x-ray from the envelope. You know, when you are just given the x-ray, it is in the envelope. And it was like, okay, madam, I hear you, let's, you know. And my partner was looking at me as if I'm crazy. You know, it was like, you are talking too much, unaongea mingi. But I knew what I was doing. And now this lady was like, you know, God. And you know, now this doctor tells me, you know what, let's see from the x-ray after 3 weeks, because it was now, that was the deadline for me to book the theater. And it was like, you know, the doctor looked at me, you know, there is a way they place them in a light somewhere. And it was like, this doctor looks at me and told me, na kweli wewe mama ni muombaji, nimependa imani yako. It was like, and you lady, you are a true believer, and I like your faith, I love your faith. And it was like, thank you Jesus, thank you Jesus. And now this lady, you know, the other lady, my lady friend now, who became my guardian angel. And it was like, you know, thank you Jesus. And you know, we were just crying. And it was, thank you Jesus, thank you Jesus. And it was like, you know, this doctor asked me, why are you thanking? And I told him, you know what, you've told me that mimi ni muombaji, you told me you love my faith, my faith cannot fail me, my faith cannot fail me. And it was like, okay, at a look of things, I've never seen this. And you know, within that time, and this plaster, which is not the full cast, the full cast, I think I have those photos. I'll just give you the difference of the difference of the first cast and the second cast. Yeah, and it has just the bones have just it is just, they are just holding together. They are just pinching themselves together. I don't know, lack of better words, but they are holding together. And the kneecap is just, I don't know how it is just going back, but there is a miracle here. And I told the doctor, to the glory of God. And I told the doctor, you know what, I got this accident when I was coming out of a fellowship, and I was in prayer and fastings. And I know, in prayer and fasting, and I know God has a reason of magnifying himself and bringing a testimony through this thing. And it was like, glory to Jesus. You know, the doctor looked at me and told me, yeah, continue serving your God, continue serving your maker, and just go. Yeah, you'll go to the ladies, they'll just tell you whether they're fixing the next cast, or you just go ahead with the other cast. And you know, it is just, I went, and the lady told me, the leg is swelling, you have to go again along with this cast until it is just back to normal size. And the power of forgiveness and letting go, and letting go and letting God, because God takes over and goes each and every step that you just need him to be. Because the Bible tells us in Isaiah that he goes ahead of us. Where there is no way, he makes way. Just makes things yani, I don't know what to say, but I'm just emphasizing on the power of forgiveness. And I remember it went to that time, I just went to the process of the first cast and the second cast. And again now, the second cast, it was placed, and this lady, I got favor from the doctors and the ladies there, and it was like, yeah, we are going to do this, you are going to do this, and it went on well. We thank God, and it was like God provided to the fullest. God provided to the fullest, financially, physically, spiritually. It was like God made it. Yani God was there for us. And I remember one day, again, the power of forgiveness. My daughter, it was a visiting day for my girl in school, and it was like, I don't want these kids to know, I don't want my children to know what is happening, because they are candidates, and I don't want to know what is happening. What am I going to do? And it was like, it is visiting time, and we discussed with my partner, and it was like, no, my daughter, because my son had knew it, because there was a visiting day, no, a parents day. My partner was not within, and so we had, like, it is a parents day, then a visiting day, and we requested that the principal just let him come home. And then he came, and he found the mama is just there bedridden, and it was now the time for my daughter's visit. He knew that if he sees that, if the girl sees that this food, she will know that something is not wrong, because she will know that when we buy food, no, this girl will ask, why are you buying food? And I remember, in a midst of asking questions and what will happen, because we didn't want her to know that I got an accident, a lady friend came, and she's my subscribers. God bless you, mama, because you did that. And I always thank God for you, and I always tell God to praise you always. And you did something that really, really, you covered us. You made it cover. You made a cover up, which protected the just, because the girl could break down. And now this mama comes, and she called me. I remember, yeah, if I'm not wrong, she called me and told me the visiting was on Saturday, and she called me on Friday, and she told me, I want to come and visit you. What would you want from the market? And it was like, oh, thank you, because tomorrow is my daughter's visiting day, and I don't know what to do. Kindly, can you get anything that I can just make for her? And she asked me one question. Again, the power of forgiveness, it opens doors and ways. And she asked me, what do you want to cook for her? And it was like, I want to cook for her chapati, I cook pilau, I make this and this and this. And it was like, leave it to me. And this lady came, she just made exactly what I wanted, and it was just warm in the morning. Put them in the pack them and go. And my daughter did not know that it is not the mama who did that. And yeah, to make this story short, I just wanted to share how the power of forgiveness, and how it can make ways for you. There are people who come to our lives just to injure us, and just to make us just miss the focus of what we are doing. Because I just ask myself, what if I just went hard on that guy? Maybe God could not make a way for me. Maybe I could just, because I did not go through operation. And that is one thing that was just confusing the doctors, because those who have just visited the orthopedic doctors, you don't have clinics. I mean, clinics, that you don't get this doctor today, you get this, you don't go to a specific doctor, because we were not on the private wing, because I was just the other wing, the general wing. And you could go, and the doctor could look at you, and it was like, Why have you not gone to the theater? And others could ask me, how did these bones get fixed themselves without an operation? And it was like they were just looking at me, and how did it happen? And I was telling them, it is God who works, because I'm a servant of God. And I told them I'm a servant of God, and God cannot allow me to go through that, because I know it is only by the power of, he just needs to speak a word so that the bones can just get along well. And I just had that session. It was so good. I had just people came through for me. People came through for me. And I remember one day, you could come to my house, and it was like, yeah, today we are having, it is like a feast. Today we are just so and so make chapels. You who have meat, and we could like eat. And I was just that. I came fat. I was just but chubby, because I was just through the pain. God decided just to bless me, and to make things seems through the pain. God just amazed me. Through the pain, God amazed me. Yeah. And it was just, but I loved the period. But it came to a time when the pain was just much. It is that time you remember that you have a fractured leg. But the other time it was just, but it was like a holiday. It was like a vacation, because I've been just working. But that time it was like, and I remember there is a lady who told me, you've been working throughout your life, and God decided to give you a vacation. Yeah, he broke your leg so that you can just have a vacation, just sit down, relax, and eat. And that is what I was doing. I was just eating, sleeping. People could come and wash my house, my everything. And not a not a single day that we just paid a person to come and wash clothes for us. Not a single day that we paid somebody just, or we bought fast foods. No. God just took care of everything. The power of forgiveness. People may see you as a fool when you forgive and you let it go. Because I know, as I was listening to that lady, she said that, people, so that she's there, why did you just let him go? And people will just term you as a fool. We ni muoga, mbona ukamwachia? But let me tell you, there is power. Let no one deceive you. If you feel yourself that God has convinced you, and you have you need to forgive. Just forgive and let God. Because some things God comes to try us, or God will just put you in a situation just to test you. Because Christ is love. And if you say that you are a Christian and you don't love and forgive, who are you? Why are you calling yourself a Christian? And I thank God for 1 and 2 months journey. Yeah, I just knew that I had a fracture because of the pain. I just realized that I had a fracture through the pain when the pain came. But God provided. And I remember, again, for the drugs, again, the power of forgiveness. Again, for the drugs, they were very much expensive. And I remember a cousin from the in-law side just came and decided, because he's a doctor, and he decided again that he's going to provide all the medicine, all the drugs during the period. And I thank God, because it happened again. I remember there is a young man again, who was a rugby player. And those people, he was working from a national team, I think. Not a national team, but just an advanced team. And I remember he saw me one day as I was being dropped by that again, a guardian angel who provided the transport for me. And saw me. We were in one court, and he came and told me, Mama, I've seen you, what is happening? And I told him, and he kindly, can I come and visit you? He came to my house, and it was like, I don't remember the name, either Sammy or I don't know, Ben. He was named, he's called Ben. And he came and told me, Mama, you know, as rugby players, we have a lot of fractures and what have you. But after everything, I'll be your therapist. I'll be your therapist. And that man again helped me. And it came to a time even he was bringing the drugs or the medicines they use, you know, they are just provided the best. And again, the power of forgiveness. And I just feel that I encourage someone, but that they wronged you, they did wrong to you. Yeah, you feel that you don't want to forgive them. You feel that, yeah, the burden is heavy in my heart. Yeah, they did something that I cannot forgive them. But let me tell you something. Do you know how many doors you are closing that God is about to open? Do you know God allowed that thing to happen so that he can test you? They did it. Yeah, they did it. And God allowed them to do, because I know, yeah, let's base this in the book of Isaiah 54 and verses 16, because some read the verse 17 about no weapon formed against us, but they don't know how 16 says. It says that he gives power to those people. Yeah, if it is a witch, he gives power to them. Yeah, he gives them even the knowledge to make those things to destroy you. The Lord in heaven, Father in heaven, he's the one who gives them energy. If they wronged you, God knew and he gave them energy. But verse 17 says, no weapon, those weapons that have been fashioned for those people, that has been fashioned by those people, they will not prevail in your life. It will not work. It will not work. So forgive them, because God gave them power. And again, God is waiting you at the other end just to test you and to see you. Are you a Christian? Christ is love. So let go and let God forgive. You may not forget because like now, see, that lady gave a story and I remembered. I remember, but I forgave and I let God. And that is the importance of just forgiving. Just forgive. Just forgive. It is not as easy as I am saying. Because at that hospital, the first clinic, people looked at me as if, you know, you are paying a bill of 2,700 and it is somebody who have just cost you this. But let me tell you, I paid the 50 shillings that he was to charge me. You know, even that man was just amazed. And you know, he didn't come back to me because maybe he thought that if I see him again, I'll just sue him. But I've never seen him up to date, but I have a testimony. I may not have known him, he may not have come back to me, but I have a testimony. So let people talk, but do what you are convinced in your heart. Because I could have made him pay the 2,700 shillings, but God who could just made him just pay that, and then I could just struggle with the rest. So thank you so much, guys, for watching until this far. And if you've just watched this video and you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe, because a lot is coming. A lot of testimonies is coming. A lot of testimonies is coming, because I told you, as I've been telling you, God has taken me through this. It is like a school. And now I have to deliver what God has taken me through as a testimony, because I believe he did not just trust me to go through all this just in vain, or just to keep it to myself. I have to encourage somebody. And today's message is that there is power in forgiveness. And again, forgiveness opens a lot of doors. Until the next one, bye bye. God bless you.